Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. Hope everyone is doing well, of course, as always. Glad to have you guys here for another update. So we are going to be looking at the latest regarding this storm here. It actually looks like it's getting a little interesting out there. But first of all, before we dive on into it, let's go ahead and see who we got here for today. We got ourselves Indiana, we have Bill, we have Tabletop, we got Justin, we got Charles, we have, let's see here, Weatherman, we have Mindover, and of course, everybody else who is here but not chatting. Hope you're doing good. What's up, Court? What's up, Roy? Hope you're doing good. But anyways, y'all, what's up? Hope everyone's doing well. So, just going to take a quick little look at the storm right now. This is it. You know, right now it's not, you know, anything super crazy. It doesn't look like a hurricane or anything like that right now. But later on in time, given future conditions, it does look like that this storm will have a good shot at actually becoming a pretty nasty storm overall. So we'll need to be looking out there really closely for this. So the central low is right in here. It's kind of hard to tell on a storm like this because it's still a little disorganized, but yeah, there is a lot of convection going around the center of the storm, not necessarily in the center right now. You can see that there's the, this is our rainfall rates based off of satellite. This is not radar, but kind of similar in intent, but yeah, you can see that there's quite a bit of convection on that northern, western, and kind of eastern side. It kind of lacks a bit of thunderstorms on the southern extent. So obviously we're going to need to get some more of those thunderstorms towards the core before the thing really kind of, you know, picks off here and turns into a tropical system. But we're getting close. We are getting a lot closer every minute that goes by. What's up? Let's see, Cody, what's up? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Lauderdale? What's up, Katie? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Glad to have you here. But let's go ahead and hop over here to the Hurricane Center. This is the latest guidance. So we do have an upgrade since earlier today. We did a live stream earlier today on the channel. Right now, look at this, 90% chance overall formation. So throughout the next 7 days, we have a 90% chance of this storm turning into a tropical depression, at least a tropical depression here. The way it's looking, the storm will likely become a hurricane and maybe even a big one. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But anyways, so yeah, as of right now, throughout the next 7 days, through the next week, we have ourselves a 90% chance of overall development. So it does look like a pretty good probability that this storm will develop into a tropical system. And with that being said, throughout the next 48 hours, throughout the next 2 days, we got a 50% chance. So this thing has a good shot at becoming a tropical system within the next 2 days or the next 48 hours. So we'll definitely need to be looking out there for that, my friends. But yeah, overall formation chance is high. So we'll need to watch it as this thing's getting ready to do some stuff. So we'll keep an eye out there for that. While we're here, just a quick little look at the EPAC, Eastern Pacific. We got a little disturbance, 30-30 chance. Not really anything too concerning. Central Pacific, we got nothing. So right now, main concern. All eyes are on the Atlantic right now. So we'll keep an eye out there for those areas. All right, y'all. Well, let's go ahead and hop on into the spaghetti models. I'm sure y'all are wanting to know. So we did a live stream earlier with the previous models, and now since the evening is set in and obviously sun's going down, models have also ran. We got a new set of model data here, and it's honestly, it's a little interesting. I ain't gonna lie. So from this morning, honestly, I think it's gone. I think it's trended a little bit more west here. Let's go ahead and get a full view for that for you guys. Honestly, it looks like it's gotten a little bit more of a westerly trend. However, the overall idea still remains with the storm here, obviously, just far east of the Antilles, but continually west-northwest movement throughout the next 3 days or so before the storm starts to kind of maybe turn more to the north overall. Now, like I mentioned, I don't know if you guys saw it in chat whenever we started the live stream. Only a few people were probably watching or seeing the chat, but what I was saying in the chat here is basically whenever it comes to the system, more than likely this thing has a good shot at coming out to sea. But it does not mean there's going to be any impacts, because there will definitely be some pretty nasty impacts with the storm. First of all, areas out there in the Leeward Islands throughout the Lesser Antilles need to really watch this storm. Same thing for Puerto Rico as well. Keep an eye out there for it. Even portions out there in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. I wouldn't say that you should ignore it. Definitely want to watch out in those regions as well. And perhaps maybe even Bermuda. Now, obviously, that's very far-fetched, and a lot can happen by the time we get to this point in time. However, it does seem like the models are really wanting this storm to go out to sea, and more than likely, this storm will track its way out to sea. So we'll definitely need to look out there for that overall. So, and you can see some of those models are kind of pointing near Bermuda. That little speck is Bermuda, by the way. But like I said, that is way, way down the line. And of course, that is, still up for grabs. The storm could very well miss Bermuda. It could have limited impacts, or it could be full-on impact. Well, still don't know that quite yet. But anyways, but yeah, that's the hurricane models. That's the latest run here this evening. But it does look like it might have moved a little bit west. It could just be me. That was the 18 Zulu? Yeah, 18 Zulu run. Let's try the 12 Zulu. So this... okay, we're going to show you guys the previous run here. Let's see, the 12 Zulu. Really, honestly, it didn't really do much. Here, look at this. So that's the 18 Zulu. That's the brand new models that you see right here. The brand new hurricane model spaghetti. This was the last run right here. This was the last run that we have. So this is the current run. This was the last run. And honestly, it looks like there's a little bit more disagreement here. Overall, but most of the models relatively keep it in that same area, so we'll definitely need to keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Where's the icon model showing potential track? So I don't know why everybody loves the icon model so much. It's not always the best model, but we'll get more into those in a minute. Okay, we'll go to individual models here in a minute. Let's see here. James says, remember chat, we have to share this information as many people as possible, share the live stream, social media, messaging apps, hit that thumbs up, and greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate your support, man. But yeah, so that's the latest with the models. I'm sure we'll go back over that here again in a little bit. But anyways, so yeah, that's what's going on there. Let's go and take a look at the intensity. So this is something I really want to go ahead and show you guys. So we looked at the hurricane models. Obviously regarding their track. Now let's look at the hurricane models regarding the intensity guidance, regarding basically what the models have to say about how strong it's going to be. So let's go ahead and pull that up for you guys. By the way, y'all, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, leaving a like. It'll be greatly appreciated. Once again, thank you all for your support. You guys are awesome. So here's the latest, this is the latest intensity guidance. Now obviously we are expecting gradual development with the storm here. My pin's broken here. But yeah, we are expecting gradual development with the storm as we continue to roll to the west-northwest over the next couple of days. And as we do, the conditions are favorable. Conditions are definitely favorable for the storm to continue kicking off. Now we're going to look at the models more in depth, and we'll show you exactly why that's the case here in a minute. But as of now, it doesn't look like that there's going to be any issues regarding like wind shear, as well as there's going to be a plentiful amount of moisture. Let's go ahead and bring our pen over here. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see the middle ground of those models kind of right in here roughly. And you can see they do eventually lead this thing into hurricane strength. Now, honestly, I really believe that that's going to be the case. I mean, these waters, for one, are very, very warm. Now, that's not only what contributes to a tropical system being a tropical system. You need to have moisture in the atmosphere. You need to have, not much winds acting against the storm itself. So, with that being said, obviously the models are talking strengthening, and we're going to get into that here in a minute. But, yeah, so at this point in time, there is a really good shot. This thing could easily become a powerful tropical storm, if not a hurricane far down in time. And honestly, the way it's looking, I think this thing might even have a shot becoming a big hurricane. We'll have to see. Like I said, I think we could even reach, above Cat 1. Obviously, we don't know that for sure quite yet, but it does look very promising that it has a shot of doing it. And let's go ahead and hop over to those main models. We're gonna take more of a look at those for you guys, kind of show you all what's going on with the individual model side of things. So let's go ahead and hop you over here. So if you want to follow along in time, it is in the top right-hand corner. You guys can take a look at it. It's right up here. I'm highlighting it so you guys can see. Let's see. Thanks, Court. Appreciate it. Let's see, not so far this year. GF has been pinpointing these storms. I mean, honestly, I think the GFS has been doing iffy this year, honestly. But speaking of GFS, that's where we're starting off here with the American GFS. So the model here has it actually diving straight through the Antilles. Now, according to the GFS, we're going to be right around the mid-990 millibar range here overall. And, that would push us right around tropical storm force overall before this model does show it heading right into the Dominican Republic. Now, obviously, compared to the hurricane models, this one is showing it way further south. And that's exactly what I was telling you a minute ago. This is why I think the GFS is kind of underperforming, because it's kind of an outcast. Obviously, we should still take it seriously, but once again, like I said, all the main hurricane models, they had it north of this location. So I'm not saying you shouldn't, you shouldn't watch out in these areas, but you very well should. Eastern Caribbean really needs to pay attention. But, like I said, though, it's, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But anyway, so yeah, according to GFS, it does hit Dominican Republic before rolling into southeastern Bahamas, before getting out to sea just west of Bermuda. And maybe, according to this model, now don't freak out over this, but according to the GFS latest run, it does have it near upper New England, which, once again, that's over 200 hours out. That is ridiculous, and that's like well over a week away. So no need to worry about that. Yeah, that's there for August 19th. That's for 9 days away. There's no way we're gonna ever be able to forecast with that pinpoint accuracy, at least as of now. From what we got, it's a little hard to tell. But anyways, so yeah, we just really need to focus on the Caribbean for now. Once again, I want you all in the Antilles to please be watching the storm here. More than likely, it will impact the Leeward Islands. Who knows how strong? It could be a tropical storm. We'll have to see how things play out. But, also I want you all in the Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, and the Bahamas to really be watching out for this as well. And ultimately, Bermuda. It depends on what it does. If it decides it does want to be a fish storm here overall, for the most part, then, we'll have to watch out there for Bermuda. Now, obviously, I want you guys in Bermuda to watch out for the storm regardless, but, just keep an eye on it. No reason to prepare for it quite yet in Bermuda. But if you're out there towards the Antilles, it wouldn't hurt to make sure you have your hurricane checklist ready. Let's see here. See, the waters are hot. They really are. Yeah, they are really, really hot. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and take a look more in depth here. So obviously I want to go ahead and show you guys the moisture supply. So the moisture is indicated in the bluish green color. This is basically our humidity throughout the atmosphere. Once again, it's not just sea surface temperatures that plays a role with hurricanes. Obviously that's a big part of it, but a lot of it is moisture. We got to have a lot of moisture for those thunderstorms to convect, and without convection, we ain't getting no storms, and therefore the storm is not strengthening. So, as you can see here, according to GFS, as this thing passes near or gets near the Lesser Antilles, you notice that there's a really, really big kind of bluish green blob here. That is showing us that we have a lot of moisture. There's a lot of humidity, a lot of humid air in the storm that's allowing for those storms to easily convect. That is good for the storm's sake. And of course, as this thing continues to roll through, it doesn't really seem like moisture is going to be too much of an issue, at least for the beginning half or beginning bit of its life cycle here. At least for the next little bit. And I believe Euro also agrees on this. We'll get to Euro next. But yeah, as you can see, there's quite a bit of moisture. Now, also wind shear, whenever it comes to the overall winds, like I said, if you have winds that are acting against the storm itself, that's not part of the storm, that allows for the storm to weaken substantially. And as you can tell, there's the storm. We have the big venting that tropical systems do. That's not a part, or that is a part of the storm, so that's not going to do anything. But you notice a really big jet over the mid-Atlantic going here. Now, this right here could be a concern down in time. As you can see, the storm kind of gets scrunched up here as we approach, towards that jet. Now, that's going to probably really take that storm, and it's going to launch it probably pretty fast. But overall, that would also likely cause the storm to weaken itself because, like I said, it's getting interacted with that jet stream, which that's just going to carry it away and just shred it apart, basically, like a blender. So, while it's over the Caribbean, it looks like it's not going to have any wind shear problems, but it could have a big problem with shear maybe late in its life as it gets up there towards, latitude around mid-Atlantic. I forgot what was that, 40 degrees north, 35 degrees north, I think. There's a map that shows it. Okay, 35 degrees north latitude there. So that once it gets to that point, it'll probably really start to get shred apart if, that's how it plays out. All right, now hopping over to Euro. European model, here's the 12 Zulu. European agrees as well. As you can see, that big dip in the jet stream here, and you can see the system overall, that really kind of grabs it and maybe throws it up to the north a little bit. This one actually has it maybe getting caught into a dome of high pressure here, which might maybe slow it down a little bit compared to what GFS was showing. But anyways, this model here, the ECMWF, shows the storm here getting a lot closer to Bermuda. So that little speck you see right there, that is Bermuda. Okay, so that is what we're looking at. Obviously, once again, it's still not for sure. Obviously, there's a little bit of a difference between the two models, and this one has it going out to sea, while GFS showed it kind of impacting New England, which, like I said, that's very far down in time, and we don't really know quite yet. But at least in its earlier life, the GFS showed this thing being maybe a tropical storm, if not near hurricane strength, out there in the eastern Caribbean. While the ECMWF kind of shows it maybe a tropical depression turning into a storm as it approaches away, or as it heads away from the eastern Caribbean overall before getting launched. So that's the main differences with those models there. And of course, when it comes to ECMWF or this model regarding the moisture, you can see that there's a whole big blob of moisture here. And it kind of punches through some dry air. It still holds enough moisture to really get it going, but as we approach up towards that jet stream, that there very well could be some mixing of dry air that gets into it. So not only as we get up maybe towards this region, not only would it potentially weaken a bit due to wind shear, but maybe even lack of moisture, more dry air getting infiltrated in the storm as a possibility. So we'll see. Obviously, we'll see. But let's just really focus on the Caribbean for now, in those regions. Once again, if you're out there in the Antilles, if you're out there in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, please just keep an eye out there for the storm. We're going to need to watch this over the next couple of days, as, like I said, this is going to be, probably a pretty big storm. From what it looks like, I mean, just looking at all that moisture that's there, that's a big storm. Where there's moisture, there's, most times, some storm activity. If you have plenty enough moisture in a tropical cyclone, that basically determines, it can help determine its size. The more moisture you have, the bigger the storm potentially. And in this storm, it does look like there's a really good amount overall. Is it abnormal for the strong jet like that far down south? It happens. Yeah, it is a little more uncommon, I believe, but it can happen. It's not super rare though. Let's see here. Is there a chance of a major hurricane, Outer Banks? Outer Banks, no. But, like I said, with this storm, do I think it'll be a major hurricane? It's too early to tell, honestly. But it is showing some signals of some pretty strong activity maybe in its life. It just determines. It doesn't look like it's going to run into much of a wind shear problem. It looks like it's going to have a good adequate amount of moisture throughout the next couple of days. So, environment definitely seems very conducive for additional development throughout the next several days. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing did pick up pretty strong. Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say this thing has a really good shot at becoming a pretty big hurricane. Just considering all the everything going on with it. But anyway, so yeah, that's the ECMWF. That's Euro. Let's hop on over here to CMC model here. Now this is another model. Now according to CMC, this one just dodges everywhere altogether, which is good. This would be the best case scenario. You can see that it has the storm just north of the Leeward Islands here for right around the 14th overall. And, like I said, kind of just skimming east of Bermuda. That little speck right there, that's Bermuda. Just skimming east of Bermuda before going out to sea. So that would be the best case scenario overall, according to CMC. But it does get pretty strong. Yeah, according to the CMC model here, this thing, what does it get down into? Hurricane strength for sure. Showing like 970s, maybe mid 970s. That would be Cat 1, maybe Cat 2, based off pressure. But anyways, so yeah, that's CMC. And of course, lastly, we have Icon. I don't know why everybody loves Icon so much. It's like I said, it's not the best model in the world. It has its ups and downs. I've seen it did do pretty well with Barrel, but I have seen it do pretty bad as well. But according to this one, has it going over the Leeward Islands as maybe not even a really depression, honestly. Maybe a depression, I don't know, but definitely not a tropical storm at that point. But it becomes maybe a tropical storm as it passes north of Puerto Rico. And then, of course, advances northward, missing the Bahamas. So, yeah, as you can tell, they're literally all over the place. ECMWF is way underestimating the storm. Obviously, time will tell. Time will tell. What's up, SPC? What's up, Penny? Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Bill? Is it common for hurricanes to reach Connecticut? No, not really. They happen from time to time. For example, Sandy, of course. I think Arthur. Did Arthur get up there? I remember Arthur back in 2015. I don't remember what. Hold on. I think it was 15. Was it 15? Hold on a minute. Arthur was a Cat 2. Oh, 2014. Something about it reminds me that Arthur hit North Carolina. Let's see if there's a path. Okay. Yeah, so it did get near. It was actually I believe, just slightly east of Connecticut. But something about that storm reminded me of those areas for some reason. Anyways, see, it's crazy that the live feed just went back to the beginning of the live. Huh? What are you talking about? Black Label, that might be an issue on your end. I'm not so sure why it's doing that. Yeah, try restarting your app. Maybe that'll fix it. Let's see, Melinda. Yeah, no, this thing really doesn't have a shot at coming to Texas. Honestly, this storm here is bound for the waters. It looks like bound for the waters. Let's see here. Oh shoot, I forgot to close that. Whoops. Was it? Oh, it was playing in the background. That's probably what you were talking about. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all heard that. I don't know what was going on there. I must have had a tab open, apparently. I thought I closed all those. Anyways. But yeah, so that's Icon. That's kind of what the models we're talking about as of now. Is there any recon? There's no recon yet. Okay, so nobody's flying in the storm yet. Yeah, it's still a little early. Bill, yeah, it does seem like a fish storm. Yeah, more than likely the storm will be a fishy. More than likely. Here's some ensembles, too. You can kind of see that this guy has it west of Bermuda. But look at all those dark colors. Now, here, let me bring this over to our main feed here. So the dark colors mean pretty low pressure, according to Ensemble. So there is strengthening that's involved. So that's what was that? Or that was GFS ensembles. Here's GEPS ensembles. You can see all of them go out to sea. So all of our ensembles, and then hopping back to the hurricane models if you haven't seen it yet. Here's the latest hurricane models. You know, obviously it has it really pulling out to sea. But, like I said, regardless, this thing's going to be pretty close, if not over, some of the Eastern Caribbean here, like the Leeward Islands. And, you know, like I said, it could be an issue for maybe the Bahamas, or sorry, not Bahamas, Bahamas, honestly, as well. We'll have to see. But Bermuda could be in a bit of a concern as well with time. So we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, Bermuda, you know, no reason to freak out about it yet. You know, there is still a good chance that it could go east of you, it could go west of you, or worst case scenario, it can't be ruled out, but it could go near you too. So it wouldn't hurt to keep an eye on it if you're in Bermuda. Obviously, the northern Antilles, of course, Leeward Islands. I really want you guys watching the storm. Same thing for Puerto Rico. Honestly, even Dominican Republic. So, southern Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Leeward Islands and the Antilles, and of course Bermuda. Those are the areas I really want you guys to watch out for the next little bit. So, that's where I think the greatest potential for activity is going to be. But like I said, the good news, yeah, it really doesn't seem like it's going to come towards the U.S. But like I said, that's not. With that being said, it's not going to leave without any problems, okay? More than likely, this thing could have some issues for those areas I just mentioned overall. And here you go. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this is, like I said, this is the latest regarding the intensity. Is this new? This is the Zero Zulu. This literally just came out, dude. Wow, there's a bit of spread there. Look at that. Anyways, but yeah, the models, the middle ground easily has it going into hurricane strength. The individual models themselves really did talk about that as well. Does that mean we're getting ready to get some new... Oh, wow. We literally just got a new... Did I just look at this and didn't even notice? This is a brand new run. This is the Zero Zulu. Yeah, throughout the live stream, we were looking at the 12 and 18 Zulu. This is now Zero. Yeah, this just now came out. So this is fresh, dude. This is fresh off the press, y'all. This is literally the latest you're going to get here. But yeah, look at that. That is interesting. Let's see. Andrews is going to the U.S. is very low, but it can't be ruled out. I highly, highly doubt this thing will even get near the U.S. Fortunately. Unfortunately, what I was going to say is that it's going to still come to, you know, these areas over here, you know, towards the Eastern Caribbean, which in that case, that could be an issue. And like I said, maybe even Bermuda, possibly far down in time. But that's very, very far down. Let's hop on back over here, guys, to this page. We're going to hop over to the HWRF here. We haven't looked at the main hurricane models here. Does that line up? Okay, so time's in the top right, y'all. So HWRF is the 18 Zulu run. Has it picking up some heat? Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so there you go. So that's in the Leeward Islands right there. That's in the Leeward Islands. You can see up there on Northern Antilles. So according to HWRF, that pressure gets down to like right around 992 millibars or so. And then it just continues strengthening. Wow, dude. Has it going right under Puerto Rico. Maybe even a major hurricane hitting, what is that, Dominican Republic before kind of weakening a little bit, going back out in the waters, then going near southern Bahamas? What a change, dude. Wow. So, that is a big, big change. Let's hop over here to infrared. Oh my gosh, dude. Whoa. Oh, buddy, that is not good. Yeah, let's hope that's not the case, dude. What's up, Storm Tracker? Hope you're doing good, man. It's been a while. Yeah, sure has. Hope you're doing good. I've been good. Let's see. But wow, man, clear eye on that there too, according to HWRF. That's, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little concerning, and it does kind of break a bit as it goes over those upper elevations there. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. So yeah, so that obviously goes a lot further south. There might even be a bit of a southerly trend going on here. That seems possible. Let's try HMON. This is another weather model here. So HMON has this thing going west-northwest for the next couple of days. has it strengthening into a tropical storm, roughly, as we approach into the Leeward Islands. This one's obviously a bit more north, and then it has it powering north here. Pressure gets down into 970, 960 territory at the end of the run. Let's see, there is no there's no infrared view. Okay, so this model obviously takes it further up north there, overall. Let's see, have we went over the other tropical wave off of Africa? No, well, as of right now, it's not really anything. Hurricane Center hasn't mentioned it or anything like that, so there's really no need to look at it now. But I did talk about it yesterday, which we'll take a quick little look. But I didn't see too much on it, honestly. Let's do North Atlantic. So there's the main system there. The second wave, yeah, it's completely gone actually, according to GFS and some of the main models. Not surprising, honestly. Yeah, so this is really the only storm we need to look at for right now. Hopefully it doesn't pull a barrel. Yeah, I hope not. But you know, at this point, it's unlikely. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, we are still a little far down in time, but it really seems like the models are really wanting this thing to go out to sea. I mean, like literally all Ensemble members, all the main hurricane models have this thing turning north. And the reason why, let's see here. Let me just bring you to a fresh, if it'll let me. Let's do a fresh North Atlantic view. Oh, that's Western Atlantic. Hold on, we'll get there eventually. So the reason is because this big dome of high pressure that's out in the Central Atlantic kind of gets nudged to the east a bit, weakens the high pressure out there in the Western Atlantic, and we have increasing pressure in the eastern U.S., which might allow it to kind of squeeze on through. So, and you can kind of see there as we work way down in time, see how that high pressure builds to the east. Then we get a dome of high pressure building in the eastern USA, which is right there. You can see big old dome here, big old dome here. Storm's going to go right between it. So that's what I'm saying. You know, the odds of this thing hitting the U.S. is pretty low. You know, this storm really does look like it's going to have, you know, if this plays out there, it looks like it's just going to squeeze right between the two, like I was mentioning. But yeah, you can kind of see it once again, high pressure in the east, high pressure in the eastern Atlantic, and it just kind of squeezes right between. So that is the most likely scenario out of this storm here. Keep an eye on it. Does it have a chance of hitting South Carolina? Not really, no. Yeah, the odds of it hitting South Carolina is extremely low. It's very unlikely. Extremely unlikely. Alright, let's see. The model showed that with Debbie. It did, but here's the thing, Andrea. So, Debbie, there is still a pretty solid high-pressure ridge across the Central Atlantic. And due to this ridge moving eastward, and due to that high pressure moving eastward, kind of opening it up and lowering the pressure over here, that's going to allow for the storm to slip through. Now, obviously, like I said, with Debbie, I was mentioning that to some people earlier today as well. Debbie was a different system. Not all of the other atmospheric components were also in play. For example, you know, high pressure and low pressure systems are not positioned everywhere where, you know, Debbie had them. For example, with that high pressure I was talking about, there was that big dome over the Central Atlantic when Debbie was still there. Meanwhile, what's going to be different with this storm is that the high pressure is going to be nudged far to the east here, which is going to allow the storm maybe to pull up a little bit more north. Plus, with that high pressure dome over in the eastern U.S., it's going to act like a shield, potentially kind of knocking the storm back out to sea. So that's kind of where we're at right now, and that's most probable, most likely. So, you know, obviously it really comes down to how strong that high pressure is, and it depends on how well developed it is. But from right now, from what it looks like, the models really want this thing to go out to sea, and more than likely it will. Let's see here. If it pulls off a barrel and hits us, we're leaving. No, it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Now, yeah, barrel, or not barrel. Was I talking about? Sorry, I was thinking Debbie for some reason, y'all. I was really thinking about Debbie. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't Barrel go? No. I've already forgot Barrel's track. I know it hit Texas. Oh, it hit the Yucatan. Okay. Yeah, this storm went under the Caribbean, hit the Yucatan, and then went up through like Texas. I was thinking of Debbie, because Debbie was also showing a bit of a turn out into the Atlantic. Yeah, Debbie in the beginning, before it happened, or before it obviously hit Florida, the models a couple days before were showing the storm actually kind of riding up the coast overall. So, and then that changed. But like I said, when it comes to it, you know, there was different, atmospheric, phenomenons in place at that point. Like once again, a stronger high pressure across the central Atlantic. Meanwhile, this one's kind of nudged across the east. So, yeah, it's not the same. It's definitely not the same. It's crazy. I was a Cat 5, dude. That was wild. I ain't gonna lie. First storm, man. Or sorry, was that the first hurricane? Yeah, first hurricane got Cat 5. That was just wild, dude. What a start to the year, man. Well, I mean, you had Andrew back in '92, which was an A name, which is the first storm of the year. But that season started late, which makes sense. But yeah, for some reason the early season wasn't favorable for tropical activity. So, but yeah, no, obviously that was still incredible. It was I believe it was the earliest Cat 5 in the Atlantic. Which was, it was like July 1st, right? Wasn't it July 1st? I think it was late June, early July. My memory shot, y'all. Like I said, I'm not the best when it comes to recalling these events, but I remember it for sure. It was July. I think it was early July. Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, so that's what the latest shows. But yeah, Euro, really kind of, doesn't have this thing fully developing until it pulls away from the Caribbean, which would be good news, of course. And then, of course, we have GFS, which is the American model. This one has it strengthening, becoming a big problem. What I find interesting, though, honestly, you guys, what I find interesting is that the GFS, let's see if we can zoom in here, which I think we can. Okay, so here's GFS. You can see how it hits the Eastern Dominican Republic, right? So, when it comes to it, according to GFS, it hits the Eastern Dominican Republic. Now, what I was noticing is that this is kind of close to what the HWRF shows. Look at that. HWRF has this thing maybe even near major hurricane status impacting Eastern Dominican Republic. Now, obviously, all the other main hurricane models are much further north of that. Is that a new trend? Who knows? I mean, we'll have to see. Let's see what the previous one showed. Oh, wow, that is a big change. Look at that. Wow. So the previous HWRF had it north of Puerto Rico and north of the Dominican Republic. Was the last run, 18 Zulu, had it literally slamming in a lot further south in the Eastern Dominican Republic. So there's obviously a big, still a lot of changes being made here. Goodness, man, that is wild. Yeah, and what's kind of scary is the infrared here, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, look at this. This is just some gnarly stuff from the HWRF here. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Obviously, that would be very bad. But as of now, a lot of the models have it north. Obviously the northern Antilles, upper Leeward Islands there. Regardless, it seems like you guys have a pretty good shot at this thing going over you all. Once again, how strong it's going to be, still up for grabs right now. But, some models do have it maybe being tropical storm, if not hurricane, by the time it reaches the Antilles. I think it would be possible for this storm to be maybe a tropical storm Cat 1 as it approaches maybe the Leeward Islands. Obviously, it's still kind of early fetch, but, from the way it's looking, from the way it seems, it can't be ruled out. But, yeah, wild, dude. Let's take a look at the moisture here. Oh, that's infrared again. Yeah, so there's your moisture. Once again, this storm is packed of moisture. There's a lot of humid air in the atmosphere here, which is great for those convective bursts that we have, for all that convection to occur. Obviously, you need a lot of moisture. With a dry environment, you wouldn't get much. But yeah, that bluish green is showing a very moist environment. Meanwhile, the tannish, brownish colors, that's kind of showing it more dry, which thankfully, or in this case of the storm, is away from the storm itself. So that might allow for some strengthening. Plus, we already know the waters are warm enough. They're definitely warm enough out there. But and one last thing, I don't think this model shows it. No, is wind shear. It doesn't seem like wind shear is going to be an issue with this storm itself. Here, let's go Western Atlantic. This is the GFS once again, y'all. See upper level shear. Yeah, so you can see the big jet stream over the mid-Atlantic there. You can kind of see that there's, you know, you might be saying, well, is that shear? That's actually that upper clockwise venting that the tropical systems typically do in the northern hemisphere, be counterclockwise in the southern. But yeah, up here in the northern hemisphere, they vent clockwise in the upper atmosphere. So that's from the system itself, but that's the full-on jet stream right there. And as it gets closer, maybe towards the mid-Atlantic, that's when it could nudge into the jet stream, causing it to maybe get ripped apart. Obviously, you know, we'll have to see, but that's a little far-fetched at this point in time. But that jet stream could be a problem for the storm itself at some point. Is there any hurricane signs after the storm? Well, this month, later on this month, I guarantee you we're going to get a lot of activity. The Climate Prediction Center talked about it as well. Regarding models, model standpoint, as of now, don't think so. Yeah, not really. Kind of looks like a big wave of dry airs could follow. I don't know if that's hair and dust or if that's just dry air. Either way, it could block it for a little bit. But yeah, obviously a little too far in time. But as of now, all we're looking at is this guy here. So we'll see. Tons of shear could easily kill that storm. Yeah, once it gets up in that jet stream, it would, first of all, that forward motion of the storm would get shot. I mean, that storm would start zooming if that was the case, which that's what happened with Debbie. Eventually, Debbie, as it went over the mid-Atlantic, it caught a hold of that jet stream, which caused the storm to move at like 39 miles an hour from the previous 2 miles an hour it was at. So it's like, yeah, the jet stream definitely does some crazy stuff to storms. Yeah, you can kind of see how it grabs it there and just kind of pushes it up north. And also that, you know, that at that same point in time, you know, on these frontal systems, you know, you get dry air behind a cold front. It's what it kind of looks like, maybe a frontal system pushing some dry air behind it. So not only is it weakening due to wind shear, but it also could be weakening due to dry air at that point in time too. But obviously that's early to tell. You can really see that dry air, that brown getting in that bottom right-hand side there overall. So we'll see. See, it doesn't look good for Puerto Rico. You know, once again, right now, the storm could completely dodge Puerto Rico. But, like I said, I want you in Puerto Rico to be watching this, of course. You know, models. Let's go and hop back to the main hurricane models here. First of all, there's the system, you guys. I haven't shown that in a while. There's the current storm. Obviously, it doesn't have, like, full convection in the core, but it's doing better. We have you can see there's a little bit of circulation going on there towards the middle here. And we got some convection on the eastern, northern, and western sides here. So it's, you know, she's trying. She's trying overall. But yeah, let's go and pull up those things for you guys. Pull up the spaghetti plots once again for y'all. Bear with me. All right, here you go. Yeah, there's spaghetti plots. So that's the latest. Oops. That's the latest with the spaghetti. Yeah, brand new. Literally just came out. That run literally just came out here. But yeah, now you can see it, all those models, majority of those models has it going right over the Antilles there, up in the Leeward Islands. So seems like a really good possibility. What would the name be? Oh shoot, I forgot it. It was an E name, of course. Let's see here. Here we go. Hurricane name list. What is it? So we had Debbie. Ernesto, I think it might be. I got it before I saw it. Yeah, Ernesto, I think that's how you pronounce it. And then it's Francine after that one. And then Gordon. And then Helene. Let's see, I'll show you. Let me show y'all. Oh, that's 23. Hold on. But yeah, I'll show y'all a graphic here. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Yeah, so this is the season names this year. So yeah, Alberto we already had. Then we had Beryl. We all remember that one. Now we got Cat 5. Chris. I don't remember Chris. What did Chris do? I literally don't remember Chris. Debbie. Yeah, of course we remember Debbie. Actually, I was impacted by Debbie. And then Ernesto. That's the one we're tracking right now. That's going to be Ernesto. Then, of course, we have Francine, which is after that storm. And then after that one, Gordon, Helene, Isaac, Joyce, Kirk, Leslie, Milton, Natalie, I think it is, Oscar, Patty, Raphael, Sarah, Tony, Valerie, and William. I also heard that they got rid of the Greek alphabet. Did y'all hear that too? I heard it somewhere. I forgot where I heard it, but I heard that they got rid of the Greek alphabet for hurricane season. So the list would just start back at A with a different, I think for next year's name maybe. I don't know. See, Kirk and Isaac have my eye here. Always the I storms, man. I tell you, the ones that have I in it: Irma, Ian, Ida, Idalia, Isaias, however you say that one. All of those main storms, dude. The I names are bad, dude. Irene, I think Irene's pretty bad too. I mean, shoot. Yeah, it's always the I. And the reason is by the time we get to that part of the list, we're typically in peak hurricane season. So obviously everything's already primed. That's why the I names are usually the big ones, just because that's like peak hurricane season. Usually we see those like in late August, September-ish. Matthew was pretty bad, yes. Matthew definitely was a pretty bad storm. Didn't Matthew hit Panhandle, Florida? I think it did. It was, yeah, but I do remember Matthew being impactful. I remember hearing about it being very bad. Let's see here. Justin says the I name storm this year will be interesting considering it will be peak season. Yeah, that's pretty much what we were just talking about. Yeah, so Isaac, that's the new one this year. We'll see what Isaac does. Watch Isaac just be like a weak tropical depression. Watch it just do nothing. Dude, that would be something else. But the last couple of years, dude, of I names, I think all of them hit either near Louisiana. I think so. Ian hit Cape Coral, right roughly around Cape Coral, somewhere in here. I think Ian did something like that. And Idalia, the one we watched, I think went through the Panhandle, and then there was Ida. Was it Ida? I think Ida went near New Orleans. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to remember here. But anyways. Alright, let me go ahead and show you guys a quick little sat view of the current storm. So this is the current storm. This is not past storms. So this is what's happening now. This is satellite imagery of rainfall rates here. So you can see that we have a lot of our convection. So the core is like right in here. You can see that there's a lot of our storms over here kind of on the eastern and northern side of the storm. Obviously we need a lot of that activity to start to kind of get towards the core there if you really want to get that development really kicking. But hopping back over here, y'all, to the Hurricane Center real quickly. And you can see there's the latest guidance, Disturbance 1. That's the storm, also known as 98L. Formation chance for the next 7 days, a high 90% chance. And formation chance for the next, the next 48 hours is a 50% chance overall. So, with even the next 2 days, there's a really good shot that we could have, this thing developing into a depression, maybe even a storm. So, we'll see. Overall 90, though. That's like a given at this point. This thing will form. It's just a matter of when. Which it'll probably... I mean, honestly, though, from the way it's acting, compared to this morning and the day before, or yesterday, I should say, honestly, it looks a lot better than it did. Yeah, yesterday's update we did, not the one earlier today, but the one we did yesterday, the storm was pretty... I didn't even see any circulation in it. It was just a bunch of thunderstorms. Now it's just a swirling bunch of thunderstorms, basically what it is right now. So, yeah, we'll see. It is a 50-90. 50-90, 48 hours, 50 in 7 days, 90. So she's likely, man. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, like I said. But yeah, no, it does look a lot better. Let me bring you over to this sat here. I want to show water vapor for you guys. I can't even see without my glasses. They're making it too dark. Let's see. So there's water vapor scan. It's got a good hold of moisture, though. Yeah, models weren't lying with that, honestly. There's a good amount of moisture in that. Obviously, if you look at the visible, it's not going to be available. Actually, never mind. There's night mode on this one. Yeah, look at that. So there's your visible. But yeah, if you look closely, she is picking up a little bit of swirl there. Yeah, that central low is like right here. And you got that. You can kind of see that there's a little bit of that kind of movement to it. Maybe a slight dip down. It's very lopsided. It's not very circular, but it's rotating. It's kind of an oval. Let's see. Does the Northeast have a better chance of getting hit by the hurricane? That's simply too far away. Like I said, the Southeast is very unlikely to get hit by the storm. I'd even say the Northeast is very unlikely. But like I said, right now, that's just too far in our viewing. I mean, throughout the next 5 days, from 5 days from now, the storm's going to be near the Caribbean. So, obviously, anything further than that, it's going to be a little difficult. It's going to be leaving the Caribbean 5 days from now. Let's see. Let me pull that up, actually. Pull up our invest here. So, yeah, there's the spaghetti models there for you guys. Yeah, I mean, you can see that, 24 hours, a day from now, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, 4 days from now, 5 days from now. So, like, 5 days from now, I'll be leaving the Caribbean there for the most part. Yeah, more than likely. Let's see. What sucks where I am is that Goose Creek has a storm protection bubble. Every good storm keeps dying because of the lake. I feel like everybody says that. I ain't gonna lie. And honestly, the reason, I mean, maybe it could be, but I feel like everybody says that. And what I think's going on is that they're just seeing all the activity around them, and you're not getting something, and it makes you feel like you're just not involved. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. But yeah, no, I feel like everybody says that though, honestly. Like, I even used to say that. Let's see. It's like what Alberto looked like, elongated lower level convection with vortices everywhere, except it didn't have vortices everywhere, and the convection was better organized. Yeah, I mean, it's not fully circular, but like I said, it is starting to rotate counterclockwise. It's developing that central low as we speak. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's still very disorganized. There's still storms all over the place here. There's still a lot of gaps in between. You can see where there's no convection. But like I said, yeah, if you look closely, you can kind of see. If you look at the underclouds here, don't look at these colors. Look at the white. You can kind of see it maybe going under. Yeah, kind of getting pulled up to the north a little bit. Yeah, so it's that lower level. See, tropical cyclones, they are lower level cyclones, meaning that, so you have your atmosphere, you have your lower atmosphere, you have your upper atmosphere. They're developed in the low atmosphere. You have upper level lows, which are developed in the upper atmosphere, but a tropical cyclone is in the lower atmosphere, towards the ground. So that's why, it's, the pressure gets lowest at the ground, of course, in the core of the storm. Which is also why they don't do very well in mountainous ranges. Obviously, if it was an upper level low, it could tower above those mountain ranges, but no. Tropical cyclones are low surface phenomenons, meaning that the wind shear is the strongest in the lower atmosphere, which is why we get some nasty winds out of these guys. Let's see. But yeah. Memphis, we can't get any violent storms. Well, speaking of storms, I'm glad he mentioned that, actually. Tomorrow, we got a little risk out there in Central Plains. Here, let me take a quick little, I'm going to show you guys here real quickly. Yeah, we haven't looked at this yet. So just a quick little peek, just a little marginal tomorrow, nothing big. No tornadoes, just some wind, some hail. Hail up to quarter size, damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, roughly. We could have some, maybe slightly stronger storms included, but for the most part, it ain't going to be too much. Then day 3, no thunderstorms, no severe thunderstorms Monday expected. Pretty quiet, man. Tropics are heating up while the severe weather season's dying down, so. Closed circulation yet? No, not yet, but it's trying. It's getting there. Yeah, like I said, the lower level circulation right now is pretty elongated. Just a big oval. I think maybe by tomorrow it could be, pretty better. Better looking. Shoot, if it went from yesterday morning looking like garbage to now looking a lot better in that short amount of time, I'm curious to see what's going to look like tomorrow night. I ain't gonna lie. Or tomorrow morning even. I mean, shoot, this thing could really be looking a lot better tomorrow. Let's see. What storm can form in the upper atmosphere? Well, thunderstorms typically tower in the upper atmosphere, yes. Well, the upper, lower atmosphere, if that makes sense. There's multiple layers in the atmosphere. It doesn't reach space, by the way. For the people wondering, no. Storms do not reach space. They're far from it, actually. Let's see. But yeah, so no closed circulation as of right now, so that's that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow it looks a little better. Here, let me go ahead and bring this up here. We're gonna bring y'all back to the models. Let's see. It'll be interesting to see what path it takes. Let's see. I think it's already locked in becoming a storm. Oh, absolutely. You know, honestly, if this was you know, a gambling measure, I would put all my chips on this thing going out to sea. I mean, seriously, all the models are talking about it. Even all the ensembles are even talking about it. You know it's something when every member is saying, hey, this thing's going to go out to sea. So with every main hurricane model, every member talking about that, plus, you know, seeing that high pressure in the central Atlantic kind of shift east, it's opening the doors for it to go out in the water. Do I think it could sort out its lower level circulation and get circular and close it off and get defined by tomorrow? By tomorrow night, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Like a supercell, I was told sometimes a vortex. See, that's the cool thing, man, is that, you know, you have these macro scale events, you know, these big scale events like hurricanes. They happen with tornadoes, too. It's just vortices. It's just a big vortice, you know, a big vortex, I should say. A tornado's a vortex. You know, a hurricane's a vortex. I mean, they're just much massiver scales. And, you know, fluid dynamics and the natures of laws of physics. I mean, it works the same on the big and the small scale. It's just so cool, dude. It's really cool. And the atmosphere acts like a fluid, essentially. You know, it's like, it really does act like a fluid. It pretty much, I mean, it's not, obviously it's not liquid. Yeah, the air's not a liquid, but it acts like it. It does. Just slightly different properties, but it's close. It's very close. It's cool though, dude. It's awesome. Let's see. Should know better once the hurricane hunters. Yeah, I think it'll still probably be a while before the hurricane hunters get out there. I'd say at least another day or two by the time they think about coming out there. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, obviously, I mean, yeah, we'll learn a lot more because the hurricane hunters, they fly in the storm. Not only do they get the data that they're collecting in the storm, but they also do those drops on. So basically, like, they take those little probes, they drop them in the storm, they measure humidity, pressure, of course, everything you need to know throughout the storm, and they drop it. You know, obviously, you have weather balloons that go up from the surface up. These goes from the plane down. So it's same principle, but anyways. But yeah, no, that'll be really good. That'll be really useful once we get the Hurricane Hunter data. Let's see here. Where is that hurricane development going to go? Says Braven. So, as of now, it looks like the thing's going to steer out to sea. Like I said, that wouldn't completely be, you know, good news if it did do that, because that could put areas at, like, Bermuda at risk. Still not known yet, of course. Now, from what I'm mostly concerned about right now, I ain't gonna lie with y'all, is the fact that the storm here is gonna impact the Eastern Caribbean. You know, it's forecasted to impact the Caribbean. I mean, even the main hurricane models here. Let's take a look at the spaghetti models real quickly. Yeah, I mean, even this. Oh, that's not spaghetti. That's ensembles. Let's see. There you go. There's spaghetti. Yeah, I mean, even the main spaghetti models, they have it, you know, going over the near Puerto Rico. And this latest run has it going right over Puerto Rico here. And up there towards the Leeward Islands. You know, Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, maybe even Dominican Republic could be at risk here with the storm. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. If you live in the Dominican Republic, you know, the Antilles, the Leeward Islands especially, as well as, you know, Dominican Republic, seriously, I want you guys to be watching this guy close because it could be a pretty big issue. It could. You know, once again, with the guidance in the latest, you know, activity here, there's a good shot that this thing could become a hurricane. Matter of fact, more than likely, I would say that it's a pretty good probability that it will overall. Storm Tracker Red, appreciate it, man. I just saw your DM. After the 2020 season, the World Meteorological Organization Committee has ended using Greek letters. Deciding to practice was confusing and put too much focus on sometimes obscure Greek letter and not on the dangerous storm it represented. Interesting. Huh. That's not why I would think they would remove that at all. Anyways, yeah, well, they're not using Greek letters. They're just going to I'm assuming they're going to use the saying if. Like I said, we are expecting a pretty big season this year. But if we use all of our names this year, then yeah, it will probably, I think it goes into next season. Starts off with A again. So there's a theoretical possibility we could have 2 A storms in 1 year. Let's see. I'm not going to roll out the East Coast as weather until the hurricane hunters get there. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, but as of now, that seems extremely unlikely. Let's see here. So what will they do now? Because with climate change, we'll see more going past W. Well, like I said, they're probably just going to start doing the next season. So obviously this year, so they'll start the 2025 list. Yeah. So this list here, which we've looked up, has Alberto. We already had Alberto. Next year's A name is, let's see. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I can't see it. Hold on a minute, y'all. Okay, next season's Andrea. I think we have an Andrea in here. Yeah, so the next, here you go. Let's bring this over here to you guys. There you go. There's the names here, guys. So obviously, oops, shoot. There we go. So we had Alberto. That was this year. Beryl, Chris, Debbie. We already had those. Next year. So if we use up all of these names here, we're going to go to Andrea, then Barry. So we'll see. Good night, Evan. Thanks for joining, man. Take care. But yeah, so that's how they're gonna handle it. That's a good question, BPS. That's what I'm wondering. It's like, what happens if they use like maybe 1 or 2 letters of the next season? How are they going to handle all the rest of the names? Are they going to cancel out the rest of those names and then start from 26? Dude, I don't know. That's a good question. That is a really good question. Like I said, that whole thing was kind of new to me. I learned that the other day. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense. I mean, because what if you had, obviously you had the Greek alphabet, right? So you had like, Alpha. So you had Hurricane Alpha. I'm pretty sure Alpha was one of the hurricane back in 2020. I know there was Zeta. So, yeah, regardless, Greek alphabet. So if you had one of those bad storms, say it became a storm to remember, like, what I mean by storm to remember is one that was really bad, that we easily remember, like Irma. Oh, yeah, I remember Irma, like that. So if it became one of those storms, I think their main concern was like, okay, well, what if there's another one of those storms? So say we had Alpha, as an example. Say Hurricane Alpha was really bad. Then you have another season far down the line, another Alpha was really bad as well. Both storms to remember. So it's like, I think that's probably why they did that. That's why I would assume. Let's see. But anyways, yeah, that's that. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. All right, welcome back, Storm Tracker Red. Appreciate it. But anyways, guys, well, yeah, that's kind of where we stand here with everything going on. If y'all have any final questions, feel free to let me know. We've been live over an hour here, so I think we're probably going to wrap up this update soon. But if y'all do enjoy it, consider leaving a like. Most importantly, subscribing, and most importantly, sharing helps get that word out there, guys. Obviously, the more the word we can get out there, the better. And obviously can help potentially save lives. So I appreciate that. Once again, thank you all for being here. Yeah, once again, if you have any final questions, let me know. One thing I do want to show you, we got some really, really cool merchandise here. Go ahead and check it out in the description. Also, it's pinned in the comments, too. So if you want to check that out, you guys can take a look at it. We got some really cool stuff. Like I said, I worked hard on this the other day. Got some pretty cool stuff on the page. We even got like different varieties of things as well. like different tie-dyes. I mean, we got all kinds of, you know, really cool stuff. So, you know, feel free to check it out. Once again, it's pinned there in the comments. Appreciate it. Storm Tracker says, enjoy the stream, man. Thank you. Enjoyed having you here. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend. You too, Andrea. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. But yeah, so tomorrow, guys, on the table, I'm going to do a video for you all. Quick little update video. As well as tomorrow evening, we're going to do a live stream for you guys. I'm going to start doing more on our gaming live, or gaming channel. I know that's definitely off topic to weather, but go to our main page. You'll see a channel named Drewby. If you want to subscribe to it, go ahead. And yeah, I plan on doing some more videos and stuff like that on that. So let's see here. BPS says thank you. No problem. Thank you. Appreciate you joining. But all right, guys. Once again, final call for any questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. If not, then we'll see you tomorrow. Once again, y'all, we're gonna do a video tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a video out for you guys, and then of course here for basically the evening tomorrow, we're going to do another live stream for you guys on the system. So we'll have a whole lot more model data, all kinds of stuff like that. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Alrighty, y'all. You guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Once again, go ahead and check out our merch page before you head off here. It'd be greatly appreciated. It's got some really cool stuff out there. Once again, it's pinned in the comments, so much appreciated. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see ya tomorrow. See you later, guys. Thanks for joining.